This is the real essence of Sri Aurobindo's yoga, this canto. It's very important. This is the interplay of spirit and nature, of soul and matter. He watches all, the witness of her scene. He is actually the origin of all, and yet there is that aspect of him. He has taken his energy, his consciousness force, he has projected out of himself. And she is the evolutionary power. She is working out the whole change and growth and gradual manifestation of consciousness in ignorance through matter and life and mind. And he just watches. Except that he sends one element in front of the witness, which acts as the guide, which is part of because she is not just force, she is also consciousness. So that element is the psychic being. It enters into the play of evolution. It helps, it leads forward, and this development, therefore, of that conscious force goes on from life to life, from stage to stage. It is constant. It never withdraws. He's always there. But it is his spirit, whereas the supreme consciousness, divine force, not force, the divine presence, is there in the background. He lets her take over. And because of that, she experiments with many things. So she plunges into the darkness, she plunges into the vital world, she plunges into the mental confusions, through it all bringing slowly the presence of light. But it is also like a play, it passes through all kinds of different circumvolutions, as this is, peripetia, going in and out. That is why our nature is so complex. He takes birth in her world, waits on her will, divines her enigmatic gestures sense, the fluctuating chance turns of her mood. He is Lord. He becomes someone slowly that grows, that presence inside us, and that is the presence of light and consciousness growing in the form of the psychic nature. She takes her time. She plays in all kinds of different moods. So it's like an interplay of her, he and she, where though essentially she is his force, still he has passed the responsibility of change and growth to her. That is her role. So it becomes her world, waits on her will, serves her purposes. So in whatever we do in our physical life, in our vital life, in our mental life, the element of consciousness is required. Then we don't have all the problems that we acquire slowly. It's always present. When she says, you do something, we do it without thinking, and then without realizing, without consciousness, there is the consequence to be faced. So the possibility of change, the possibility of consciousness is present all the time because he is waiting behind. And then she gives us opportunities to grow, to change at every stage. It is enigmatic gesture. But the change is not always smooth. It's not only upward. That is why it's an enigma. We rise to fall, we fall to rise. She moves in circles. It's very puzzling. It's as if she's trying out different options. I remember Mother saying, nature is not in a hurry. Nature says, let me try out new forms of its manifestation. So she created beings and creatures. For 1 million years they were there, like dinosaurs and all. And then after some time sometime means a long time, she said, this is not required. So she eliminates them. It is possible that she may say the same thing about man. If man does not participate in this change and growth, she might find that man has to be replaced by another being. Just like the dinosaur was replaced. The dinosaur did not evolve consciously. It was eating up all the food of nature. But his brain was very small, his body was very big. Man's brain is not so small, but the ego is very big. So he takes his decisions for his own advantage. She works out her meanings, she seems not to know. There are times when it seems as if she's not only working for the sake of growth, progress and evolution. She traps us in complications, in sometimes plunges, we are plunged in darkness, there are clashes, there is war, there is a play of opposite forces. But all through it all serves her secret purpose in long time. All this has to be made use of. Every experience has to be made use of through time, like working out an opportunity for manifestation of a new force, a new manifestation. And as Mother says, war is one of the finest, very rapid means to wipe out certain forces. So Sri Aurobindo also is not necessarily only a pacifist, he is not at all that. There are periods when there is a clash, as we were going through a period of clash. It has to be simply something that is used for the sake of truth, which is difficult because power makes us blind. We forget. As one too great for him, he worships her. Power. She is here nature, power, force. And for a long time, the consciousness, the presence is slight. Just like in us, the consciousness is small. We are swept away by our force, our desires, our willpower, all the play of external forces around us, within us, above us, all over the forces are at work. So it's something huge. The universe is a playfield of energy. Whether it's external energy or internal energy, energy is power. Everywhere there is this force, but he worships that energy. It is, after all, that energy is ultimately consciousness. There's a very beautiful letter that Einstein wrote when he gave it to his daughter, asked her to open the letter and make it public only 20 years after his passing. And he said, because he was one of the greatest intellects of the age, and he had discovered that matter is energy. Matter is not material. What is this energy? Where does it come from? After a long research, he found out that the whole universe, every atom, or every particle of dust, or every planet, every world is moved by only one power. And he calls it love, which we could also call grace. It is the divine love or divine grace that is upholding everything. So this is he, this consciousness. But it is being she is playing with it. She is working out all kinds of new patterns and new changes and evolutionary movements and growth. So slowly, this is her secret purpose, to bring out that presence that is there hiding behind all things, to make it emerge. That love, that grace, that consciousness, that divinity. As one too great for him, he worships her. Because she is universal. He is a small, you might say, forgotten presence. Small as big as your thumb. That is how the presence is described. It's easily forgotten. But if that presence were not there, we would not be there. As one too great for him, he worships her. He adores her as his regent of desire. He worships her. She is actually his force. This interplay, he associates a little with the images that follow, the relation in our legends between Radha and Krishna, for instance. As Mother said, Radha is the soul of the earth, is the power of the earth, of nature. The same as Parvati, the force of nature. And Krishna is as much worshipped by Radha as worshipper of Radha. Both ways. So it is to suggest that in the final analysis there are two aspects of the same. For the sake of the play, they become a duality. That duality is essentially a unity. So he burns the incense of his nights and days, offering his life a splendor of sacrifice, a rapt solicitor for her love and grace. To solicit is to beg, to ask. So constantly he is asking for her. Without that grace, without that power, without that energy, there can be no manifestation. There is no creation, there is no life. She is life, she is energy, she is that all-sustaining grace that is there. And that conscious, otherwise there would only be consciousness. There would be no manifestation. So he is as if constantly asking her, don't withdraw. You continue to play. It is as if Sri Aurobindo had taken he seemed to have withdrawn somewhat into the background. But Mother had to continue. She had to do the work. Otherwise there would be no possibility of change, forward movement. His bliss in her, to him, is his whole world. To take joy in her is the purpose of his life. To take delight in manifestation is the essential purpose of the spirit, particularly of the psychic Ananda. It is this Ananda which is the psychic principle. He grows through her in all his being's powers. We can't grow without the energy, whether it is power or light or knowledge or love or wisdom or any other aspect. It is because this energy, this nature, all-sustaining mother love, that is why she is the one who helps to grow, who feeds us with our experiences. He reads by her God's hidden aim in things. By her means through her. Why is the universe at all? The universe without her would not exist. There would only be him. She is projected out of him. And then she multiplies. It becomes a multiplicity, a diversity, a kind of complex play of all different possibilities of expression. The diversity or the multiplicity is a sign of a possibility, different possibilities. So that is through her in all his being's powers. Because the spirit can be small, the spirit can be vast. The infinite can be as tiny, is infinitely small and infinitely vast, infinitely variable all the time. There is no moral regimented rule that it has to be white, it can be also black. Darkness also is perhaps one of his aspects. He puts on the aspect of something that is dark, which we might otherwise call evil. From there to come out and open to the light is a very tremendously strong experience. The conquest of all the lower elements, so there have to be lower elements. We have to face, go through their pull, they'll pull us down, and we have to fight. All these are experiments of the spirit, experiences of the spirit, which we don't remember. It is not as if he is there inside us to make our life smooth. Instead, it makes our life more complex, because she wants that. Go through whatever is possible. Don't run away from experience. Only don't lose contact with that presence. So he reads by her God's hidden aim in things. If we stay in touch with him, she will open us to all possible expression of the divine. God's aim in things is this universe. If this is not there, there is no universe. There is only he in the infinite, the eternal. Or a courtier in her countless retinue, she is like a queen as the ruler, and so many are just part of her retinue, they follow in her wake, content to be with her and feel her near. He makes the most of the little that she gives. Sometimes life gives us not too much happiness in the world of misery and pain. If there is one moment, a flash of beauty, a flash of perfect joy or love, it really becomes something sparkling, something wonderful. And all she does is drapes with his own delight. A glance can make his whole day wonderful. All these actually images that he's using are very present in much of the devotional poetry that was written from the 10th to 16th, 17th century in the regional languages, whether it's in Tamil or in Bengali or in Maithili, and many of them have been translated by Sri Aurobindo. This interplay of Radha and Krishna is very, very well described. He is as much her slave as she is his, you might say, his instrument. Because he's going to give us the image of the play of the peacock. A word from her lips with happiness wings the hours. He leans on her for all she does and is. He builds on her largesses. Largesses, acts of generosity. Something suddenly she gives us a lot. That is a moment of beautiful love and joy. His proud, fortunate days, he's happy, and trails his peacock plumaged joy of life, and suns in the glory of her passing smile. So you get sense of the beauty in nature. Peacock plumage joy of life is not just a suggestion of the presence of Krishna, but there are lines here where the beauty of nature, peacock and parrot, jewel, soiled and tree, they're like jewels, they sparkle, they're beautiful. In 1,000 ways, he serves her royal needs. He is her slave. He makes the hours pivot around her will, makes all reflect her whims. Whims, they are all whims. They are illogical. Sometimes she wants something, sometimes she wants the opposite. Sometimes she takes us right on the heights of a certain tremendous victory and then drops us down into the experiences of misery. It's a part of the game. We have to go through, we learn through all things. All is their play. There is not only her, because she cannot do anything without his presence. This whole wide world is only he and she. So the interplay of spirit and nature, or matter and soul, which is something almost central to the, you might say, vision of Sri Aurobindo, that we do not have to give up matter, we do not have to give up the play of nature, we don't have to withdraw into an ascetic way of life, into giving up all our other activities and do tapasya alone. That is not the purpose. Concentrate only on the spirit. Because if earth exists, if the nature exists, if the body exists, it exists because of him. It is, she is working out his will. So we have to find both in the play of matter, which is she, we have to discover him. Discover him in the body, discover him in matter, discover him in all activities. Therefore, this is the integral yoga, to integrate matter and spirit, not withdraw from one and give up the rest. This was relatively easier. Not easy, but it was easier relatively. This was the knot that ties together the stars. Otherwise, there would be no oneness behind the multiplicity. The stars represent the play of diversity, this infinite multitude of manifestation, but all centralized by one energy, one force, one consciousness. This interplay of consciousness and force is what keeps the sense of unity in diversity, one in the many. The two who are one are the secret of all power. The two who are one are the might and right in things. Consciousness and force, matter and spirit. Matter, nature is might. Spirit is right, if you like, in the sense of Satyam Ritam Brihat, the truth that is there, the light that is there, the consciousness is there, in the play of the Brihat, in the play of the many. His soul, silent, supports the world and her. That is exactly the way Sri Aurobindo also acted. He left the whole charge of the development of conscious manifestation to the mother. It was not simply the charge of the outer running of the ashram, but the whole, you might say, burden of the sadhana of the sadhaks to her. She would have to do everything for them, or look after them. His acts are her commandments' registers. He himself would do whatever she would say. The spirit obeys this divine mother's force. She is the supreme ruler. Evolution grows and the spirit manifests progressively when nature is ready. So when time or nature says ready, it's now time for the next stage, then the next level of consciousness manifests itself. Until then it doesn't. It waits. Life had waited for a long time before matter gave birth to life. When she decides at some point, matter must also become the base of this world of something much more active than just matter, then that life that was waiting from eternity. It comes out. So it is, his acts are her commandments' registers. Happy, inert, he lies beneath her feet. The image, he is conscious, but he doesn't do anything until she says you have to do. You have the image of Kali or dancing on the chest of Shiva, which is an Indian image. He is not disturbed. In fact, he is happy. She is trampling on him. We often trample on the spirit. We also have a spirit inside us. We often crush it, we trample on it, we misuse it. He doesn't complain. He never complains. Just like Sri Aurobindo also never complained, never ever. One of his most remarkable aspects of written or spoken by those who lived closely in his around him is equanimity. In all situations to be so quiet and completely happy in all circumstances. His breast he offers for her cosmic dance, of which our lives are the quivering theatre. This universal play which is taking place within each of us, Within each of us, the play of all the different possibilities of change and growth in a drama. Drama is not straightforward, it's always rising and falling. The possibility of winning and losing are always there. It's like a theatre. Theatre is a place of action. Theatre doesn't mean where plays are. Any theatre, theatre of war, for instance, where the action takes place, where the battle takes place. So each of us is like a theatre where the play of opposite forces takes place. And none could bear but for his strength within. And sometimes the forces are so strong, so violent, we break down. But if your connection with the spirit within is strong, then you make use of it to come out of it. If your connection with the spirit is not strong enough, you break down under the pressure. Those who are inwardly weak in their spirit, they can't face things without equanimity. They can't face it with equanimity. They break down. And sometimes those who are strong, they take joy in the blow, because he's testing me. That means I have the possibility to really emerge like fine steel that has to pass through fire to become strong. So we also have to pass through fire often. All these are tests which he accepts joyfully. The spirit accepts joyfully. The spirit does not say, I am there, therefore everything has to be smooth. This is our belief. God is with me, so he'll make my life easy. If really God is with me, he will ask me to go through all kinds of difficulties and slowly make use of all my possibilities to emerge into something more beautiful and nobler. His works, his thoughts have been devised by her. His being is a mirror vast of hers. Active, inspired by her, he speaks and moves. The same thing. It is always this force that gives us the power to face whatever experiences she puts in front of her. So if our spirit is firm, turned to, connected with the divine, because it is the divine, but we have lost touch with that. His deeds obey her heart's unspoken demands. She expects us to live up to that. That is the real, sadhak who has done. She will demand more from the one who is ready to really obey her. Mother put a bigger pressure on those from whom she expected the possibility of change, of progress. She put lesser pressure on those who did not feel the need to change fast. Passive, he bears the impacts of the world as if her touch is shaping his soul and life. His journey through the days is her sun march. That is the whole thing. Sun march, moving towards the light. Evolution is a movement towards the light. He runs upon her roads. Hers is the course. A witness and student of her joy and dole. Dole is the opposite of joy. Student, one who studies, one who watches and understands or tries to understand what he watches. A partner in her evil and her good. There you are. She takes all different modes of expression. He has consented to her passionate ways. He is driven by her sweet and dreadful force. You stop there?